There's hardly another opera that takes the listener, grabs the listener, and holds them for an hour and a half. It's a thriller. This work by Alban Berg is an orchestral masterpiece. And of course, like many of these great works, so much of this narrative is in the orchestra. The singers will be singing, and of course they have a text, and we wish to understand the text, but there's so much subtext.
Wozzeck has a personality, I suppose, trying to come to terms with himself. He's very psychologically disturbed. He has dreams in which he hears voices telling him to do things.
You sense there are some people in this life who will always attract bad fortune, or some people who, because of the situation into which they've been born, cannot break free of this. The feeling of an almost feudal kind of hierarchy, that Wozzeck is a fellow, he does menial tasks for various people around him.
It's a study, I suppose, in a psychological breakdown. You know, this poor character of Wozzeck, who's kind of downtrodden, used, goes on his journey through this short section of his life that we see.
He has a lovely wife who has ambitions of her own and only sees this man, Wozzeck, who feels he wants to improve his position in life, but he seems incapable of doing it.
It's not a happy story, but it's a really interesting story that gets under the skin of the character of Wozzeck, the character of Marie, the situation they're in, the difficulties that we all have as human beings of trying to come to terms with life, which is what Wozzeck's trying to do, to try and understand his life.
But it's a deeply touching, a deeply beautiful work for all the brutality and violence.
I think the audience coming to see this in this situation as a concert staging will first of all experience great singing, great music, and a tragedy.
One's focus when you have opera in concert is on the music, even more on also on the orchestra, and as themes, as the music moves around, literally moves around the orchestra and the instruments. I think one has a different, a slightly more visceral relationship with the music.
I think if you just let the music work in you without trying to analyse it, it will take you on the journey that you need to be taken on.
And I'm thrilled to bring it here, and I think the orchestra will be phenomenal.